I can't show. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is
Diana.
I'm told it's episode 260, and we're recording on Sunday of the last of March.
It's the 27th.
It was somewhere in the late 20s, but it was the last Sunday of March. I remembered that part. And as always, fake spring has finished now. We're back to our regularly scheduled winter programming. This happens every year in this province. It's just how it works. It happens in most provinces in this country, being of the northern end of the northern hemisphere.
Yeah.
It's how it works.
Spring of deception has come and gone. We have a lovely blizzard here today.
Oh, now we were minus 25 when I woke up this morning.
Okay, we're not that cold. Like, I think it was minus 16 with the wind chill, so we're not like that cold, but like we had full-on blizzard earlier. Now it's deceptively sunny and just horrendously windy.
Yeah, we're windy and we're cold, but not really that much in the way of snow, so that's fine. So that's normal, which is fine. Spring actually normally starts and stays sometime around mid to end of April. That's what normally happens. So we usually get a thaw either early, which is just before our birthdays, or after our birthdays, and then we're frozen again till sometime end of April. We're right on schedule, people. Right on schedule. All right, Diana's gonna let everybody know what we're going to cover this week, and I'm going to drink some tea.
We've got What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Wool Gathering, and Kniterature.
Tea. I made myself a full teapot of some Kenya Gold, which is just some black tea, and I am pouring it out into portions in my Reading is Sexy mug.
It's got to be a heck of a teapot, because when I make a mug that size of tea, like that's my tea for the next 3 hours.
I will say this about our liquid consumption habits. I am never dehydrated and I never have a slight headache because I'm lacking liquid.
I drink like 5 of these in a day. Like, I don't lack for liquid. I drink so much water. I don't drink that much tea.
I drink a lot of tea. But yes, the teapot will give me 2 to 3 Jocelyn-sized cups. It's a big teapot. You've seen it. We've drank from the teapot.
Yeah, that's a lot of tea.
It's a lot of tea, but that gets me through 4 or 5 hours.
I got myself like a 1 liter teapot, and that does the little 6-ounce teacups. It does like 4 to 5 of those, so I get to have like fancy teacup tea all afternoon. I like that.
It's like a sip of tea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I put in those fancy teacups? Dessert for portion control.
Okay. In my no longer naked dinosaur cup.
Ooh, well, it's because it's cool. They're only naked when it's hot.
I know. Gotta finish drinking it quickly.
Yeah.
I got some holiday chai tea from Stash, and I was looking for some tea that I can make quickly. So chai tea. And people in the Discord were talking about chai tea the other day. Everybody had different kinds of tea, and I'm like, man, I want some tea.
Was that Discord or was that when we were streaming this week?
No, you're right. That was when we were streaming Stardew Valley, and everybody was like, I've got this kind of chai tea and that kind of chai tea, and like, oh man, I could go for some this kind of chai. Like, man, I really just want some chai tea. So I found some chai tea in my drawer of tea. So I have some chai tea. It just took a few days.
Well, you know what that means. Get more chai tea.
I have lots more of that, and I think one other kind of chai at least. I announced publicly family publicly at some point that I like chai tea, and then suddenly every single family member that had ever gotten some chai tea and like had 3 cups and were like, meh, chai tea is not really my thing. Suddenly I had like 10 different kinds of chai tea, and I think I'm still going through that backlog.
That makes sense to me. They would have given you everything. I happen to like chai tea, so.
The same thing happened when I announced a few years earlier that I like green tea, and I definitely still have some of that.
I definitely would have shared a bag or 2 with you, but I would not have given you that much of one type of tea.
So I have a lot of green tea, and I had a lot of chai tea. I think I've mostly finished it at this point. This chai tea is new from Christmas.
I happen to really like green teas. I like green tea more than chai tea, but I also like matcha. And because I am the expensive prima donna that I am, I really like the ceremonial grade matcha, so the good stuff. So I
Yes.
only buy it when I'm out because I don't have the right stuff to make matcha properly. So I'd have to get the stuff to make matcha properly and then buy matcha powder. It's a really good tea,
I've
though.
screwed up the pattern on my socks. Do I tink back? I think I have to.
Well, it'll annoy you if you don't, so I'm going to go with yes.
All right. We're tinking the socks.
In the realm of We're a Knitting podcast, I did actually wear some knits this week. I wore my coffee shop shawl when it got cold again at the end of the week, and I wore my moon bow cardigan as my coat in the earlier half of the week, which tells you how warm it got. I was outside in sneakers and a cardigan.
Nice.
So
I decided to go for a walk yesterday before the snow started because I didn't realize how cold it was. But I was at least smart enough to wear my Steinkrieger
good.
underneath a coat. And then I still needed a shawl. And then I still should have had a headband, but I didn't bring one. And I had regrets, and it was a much shorter walk than initially intended, which turned out to be okay because the blizzard started shortly after we got home.
You had regrets, did you?
I had a few regrets.
Oh,
it was not as warm as it looked.
It rarely is what it looks like. Does that make sense?
Especially in the spring of deception. I got so excited because it literally got crocuses and snowdrops in the front yard, and I was so excited that I thought winter was done, and winter is not done.
Longtime listeners and viewers will know she does this every year in our birth month.
But things were growing. The winter was done. There's geese.
Oh yeah, there were some birds outside my window. They're be dead now, or they found somewhere to hide and survive. One of the two happened. They're on their own.
Anyway, so I'm sad about the snow. But I suppose it means I get to keep wearing knits for a bit longer yet.
It does, which isn't a bad thing.
It's so windy. Can it just be spring where it's like 5 above instead of like 15 below?
Maybe.
I mean, it will be at some point. I want it to be the weather where I can just wear a sweater outside and that's the end of it.
Okay. I mean, we'll get there. It's not actually going to take that long.
But it's not here now and I'm sad. So I'm impatient.
It's not that it's changing. It's that we have the capacity to wait equivalent to a 2-year-old.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, just checking. Which is fine. I don't really have any yarn on the go, so I'm ready to talk about things I have been working on, if you are as well.
I am also.
Okay. Do you want me to go first? Because it always weirds you out when you go first.
Yep, I'm currently trying to fix a mistake, and I'm a professional podcaster, so I have to fix my mistake before it's immortalized on the internet.
Too late.
Hey, I haven't shown you the mistake. I could be lying about the mistake.
You wouldn't do that. That's the thing. They know you too well.
I know exactly what I did too. I just misjudged which repeat of the pattern I was on. So I have an extra knit row where I shouldn't, and it's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me. It's right. It's gonna be like right over the instep.
Oh yeah, that'll
that
like you.
That ankly bit opposite the heel,
That'll
and like
you.
I'm really gonna notice that.
I have continued my work on my wood bows. You guys will remember this is the podcast anniversary knit that I'm working on. Not a ton of progress since I decided to make my way down the body and transition to my second skein of yarn a little early so that I could have the leftover from the first skein to start my 2 sleeves with, and then fade. I only This is where it gets weird. So even with variegated skeins, even when they're dyed on the same dye lot, I alternate that last third of a skein from old to new, so we get a nice color flow, and we don't get any lines, right? So even in the same dye lot, I just like to do that. It's just a thing. I feel better for doing it. So I knew I had to do it on the body, and I've now transitioned into the second ball of yarn. And I wanted to do it on the sleeves too. So what I have to do is take my first ball of yarn, which made this whole top piece section, split what I have left in half, and use half on one sleeve, half on the other. So because I've not weighed that out and done that, or wound another ball of yarn yet to transition the sleeves to, I'm just making some progress on the body while we record today. Not a ton. Where did my progress keeper go? It's somewhere in here. Oh, here it is. So my progress keeper is up here. So I've done what? A little over 3-4 inches of body.
Nice.
So not bad. I'm making progress. It's roundy knitting. So this is the stuff that goes with me when I go places. And in this case, it was just car trips and stuff this week. So this is my wood woes. I'm making it out of some wonderful Erin yarn. She used Fibre Co. And this is the Northern Cardinal, which is the last of the Bird Sock Club colorways from last year. She showed up with one skein. I giggled. She came back with 3 more. This is how it works. You're kidding me. I saw her the other day and I said, so when you get home from Knit City Montreal, because she's going to Knit City Montreal, I'm like, I need some of your new navy. She's like, yeah. I'm like, and purple. She's like, yeah. I'm like, and then your birthday colorway. She's like, okay. Sweater quantities of all. I'm like, if we're honest, yes. Honest, yes. No, I think I need 2 of the purple and 2 of the navy to make a purple navy striped dingly tee. Because it's like an eggplanty kind of purple and a navy. Like
that would be lovely.
That'll be so nice. So I think I need 2 of those each, but I need 4 of her birthday one for this year. Because let's be honest, I own 29, which was her last year's birthday colorway, in sparkle sock base to make sparkle socks.
Well, yes. Okay.
So that's gotta happen. So that's going on. So this is what I'm working on while we record. It's so pretty. Like, look at that red.
It's gonna be so good. I'm
And
so
on
excited.
Me,
I'm so excited to see this done. And I'm thinking really hard now about like some of the Star Trek colorways this year. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, March is pretty great.
Did you see all of those cardigan patterns we've been dropping?
I skimmed past them really fast because I didn't want to explode my favorites bundle.
I just exploded my favorites bundle. It's fine. So there's been more of this, but I mean,
fine.
like, I've got there's some really nice colorways that are coming out, and I bought an Emily Knits in Paris pattern where it's a fitted button-up cardigan, but it's got a little shoulder poof, just a little poof, a little statement sleeve.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm like, hello. I need that. I need that. I need that in some sort of color. So there's more fingering weight everything coming our way, guys, because this is going to look great with some lightweight black wool skirt, like a lightweight black wool floor length skirt. And this is the top. Like, how good will that look?
Oh my god, yes,
so good.
I'm very into this.
So plants. Do I have the black wool yet? No, I don't have the black wool yet, guys. I'm still making my way through the wool that I do have. Yeah, I walked into that one. All right. I will mention that I did get a little bit of progress done on the quills cowl that I was working on for Erin, but she has taken that to Knit City. So not a ton of progress, but I did get a little bit done before she came to pick it up because they leave here on Wednesday morning, super early.
Makes sense.
Well, they're driving.
I was hoping I could go.
Oh yeah, but if you can't, you can't. It happens.
I added up the costs of things, and
it's expensive.
That was gonna be a expensive trip.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm trying to buy a house this year, I just can't. Why is it so expensive to travel and stay in hotels?
It's expensive to do everything. Let's be honest.
I mean, I just want to stay in a hotel in downtown Montreal where all this cool stuff is for a cheap price. I just want everything and I want it for free.
So that's not going to work the way you think it is.
No. So I will not be going to Knit City Montreal this year.
Sad panda.
Maybe Knit City Vancouver. We'll see if we can plan that better, and like, I don't know if there's a group, and I don't know. Hey, Vancouver people, do you have a spare couch or like a bit of floor or something?
I could take a look and help get everything organized for people if they want, but I don't have the money to do it. So
It's expensive.
mm-hmm. It is. All right. Well, in that case, I'm done and you're up because we have the same number of projects this week. 4 inches of a fingering weight sweater, guys. It's no small amount of progress.
I guess since you talked about your podcast anniversary,
seeing as we've
talk about my
it
podcast anniversary
to the end of April, we really should get it done now.
Yeah, I know. I had grand plans of catching up on Critical Role and just knitting like a crazy person on this. Yeah. And I got distracted with video games. After Friday, I needed to shoot something.
That's fair.
And then I spent all of Friday night and most of Saturday just shooting some things.
I was farming.
That sounds so much more wholesome than what I was doing.
It's relaxing.
Anyway, so it's even bigger. I can't fully spread it out anymore.
It's because you don't have one of the 60-inch cords I have.
Yeah, I don't have any 60-inch cords. I might need to correct this.
They're good. They're long, but oh man, I'm finding so many handy uses for them.
So I am now at the part where I start doing the weird, interesting edging.
Ooh, nice.
So my next instructions are to take this little group of edge stitches right here and knit them into a point.
Okay.
And then somehow, I guess you break the yarn at the end of the point and reattach it to the other end and make a point over there. And then reattach the yarn somewhere else and keep going.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I have a set of interesting instructions coming up. Anyway, the next set of instructions made sense. It was take 11 stitches and knit a point.
So you'll
it's
do
a paid
that
pattern, so I'm not gonna give away the secret sauce, but yeah. And conveniently the way I'm holding it, you can't see the mistake that I made. Ha ha ha. I want to take a second to point it out anyway, because perfection is for professionals, which I am not.
Perfection is for computers.
I actually can't find it, so maybe it's fine. I spent like a good 5 minutes staring at it this morning, trying to decide if I was going to go and fix it, and now I can't even see it. So there we go. Okay, can you see it?
Nope.
So
she's not asking me, guys. She's asking you.
In my very center spine, I'm missing a yarn over right there.
Okay. Will it bother you?
And I looked at it really hard and I thought about trying to fix it, and then I didn't want to risk it. And also, like, you're not gonna see it. Like, I have to hold it up real close, and even then it's like, nope, okay, I guess I can see it. So I'm gonna roll with it, and whatever. Leaves aren't perfect.
They aren't. They're wonderfully unique.
So that's where that's at. It's going to have an interesting shape next week. It's definitely, because I don't think the points are going to take very long, so it's definitely going to have points next week.
Oh, good.
This yarn is so soft. I'm so excited for this to be done because I just want to like wrap my head in it. It's so nice.
Well, you have to stop shooting things.
I know. So this is I don't remember what the base was called, but it's from Cloud9 Fiberworks, and it's 50% silk and 50% merino. And the colorway was Winchester, brackets Dean. And it's all these browns and grays, neutral sort of dead leaf color. Wood color? I don't know. Dead leaf color doesn't sound very good. I'm gonna go with wood color. It's
Okay.
wood colored.
It's wood colored?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's wood colored. It's pretty.
It's definitely a better use of color name than dead leaf color.
And it's so drapey. It's so drapey. I'm happy.
Good. Daria from Cloud9
that's-
Fiberworks does some beautiful yarn.
She really does.
Beautiful yarn. It is
So
always
that's where my
a joy
maple
to
leaf
buy
shawl
from
is
her.
at. Ugh. And that's all living in the, oh no, so I try to reach around my microphone. That's been continuing to live in the coffee bag that Asa sent me.
Oh, lovely.
There we go. Trying really hard not to punch the microphone.
How's that going for you?
I don't think I've punched it yet.
Okay.
Oof.
So far so good.
So far so good. We'll see how that goes.
All right, next project. We'll talk about my crochet project, and then we'll talk about my third project, which is back to knitting. I know, only 3 projects, guys. I've now managed to lose 2 6.5mm hooks. They're in the office somewhere. So when we're done this, that's what I get to go do. I get to pull apart my office till I find my hooks. And I'm not going to stop till I find both, because I prefer the metal one over the plastic one. So I have been making progress on, hang on, I'm going to make some clinky noises with the things. I'm going to put my sweater up out of the way. And drink some tea. I've been making some serious progress on my chocolate covered cherries wrap. It is a paid for pattern I found on Ravelry and I purchased. And oh god, the rows are so long. Okay. I am using some Impeccable in the colors white, chocolate, and cherry. Shocking. I know.
Mind blowing.
Mind blowing. I'm getting some really good yardage on my colors, which is good because crochet eats up yardage quite quick. It is a beginner pattern in the fact that the stitch pattern repeat is quite easy to memorize and do. And I'm only going to say advanced beginner because the designer who designed the pattern wrote the colorway names she used rather than color 1, color 2, color 3. So if you don't use the same color of yarn from the same brand, you have to remember the different names differently. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So her white is Acadia from the Heartland colorway.
Right.
So I have to remember when it says Acadia, it means white. When it says Badlands, it means red. Because for me, Badlands is the cherry color. That's how it works. But we're at this width. Ooh.
That's like twice as wide as it was last week, isn't it?
Yep. We're into the last. I can math. What am I at? I'm at row 38, 39 of 59. I'm either the last row or 2 of the 30s or the first row of the 40s, and I have to get through to row 59. So it's going to grow again by half of what it grew last week. So it's going to grow another width like this, another width of this.
That's going to be massive.
So it's going to be a very big old blanket scarf, which is what I wanted. We're doing this on purpose. I'm going to have to finish off the edge with a single crochet in the chocolate because I really hate this chain look. It's just not a thing for me. The length is still really good because you can tell. Here we go. We've still got length going. Still got length going. Still got length going. My one arm's fully extended now. We're still going. We're still going. We're still going.
So I think it's long enough.
It's almost throw length, if I'm honest about it, to get that big long drape I wanted. I'm from my toes to my head. I mean, I'm sitting, so I'm not at full height, but it's a big old blanket scarf, which is exactly what I wanted. Guys,
so cozy.
My bought blanket scarf is shorter than this, but the width is still bigger than my current width I'm running. So here we go. very nice. Very lovely stitch. It feels great. Now I just need to figure out where the frick my hook's gone. Both of them. And
Into the
very folded up so that I can, store it places. It's going to be so big when it's folded up. You are. It's going to be such a big, overdone.
it'll be dramatic.
It'll be so big. I might have to take a basic fingerless mitt pattern and repeat this colorway if I've got leftover so I can have matching fingerless mittens.
Yes, I
Might
endorse
have to.
this.
I might have to if I have enough leftover yarn. So we will see what happens. All right, so that is that. Whoa. It takes a long time to get through a row, like a long time to get through a row. So
I would imagine.
that was all while I was working on Critical Role, because I'd pick it up and work on it when I didn't have Critical Role to watch. My brain would just space because it's a 2-stitch count repeat. So do you know how hard it is to count to 2?
Extraordinarily difficult some days.
So that's happening. But that is okay. We made some progress. I really wanted to have it done this week. Like I wanted to have it done for today. I have to have it done before Friday because that is my entry for Around the Neck challenge for this month for the Fiber Friends. So
Right.
I'm running out of days.
Yep.
Got to get that finished. Good thing it's crochet. So that is the second thing I've been working on this week. Have I been working on other things? Yes, guys. Can I talk about them? No, guys, because it's not check-in time yet. It's not check-in time yet. I actually put all of the impeccable yarn in a giant Walmart bag because I had like 6 balls of it, hey? Big, like the big Walmart bag. Big one. Big Walmart bag. But I don't have
So you can fit a whole sweater in a tiny little bag.
Yes.
But if it's a blanket scarf, it needs a giant Walmart bag.
That is correct.
What's different about a sweater?
It's fingering versus worsted.
Well, fine, be practical.
B, I don't have any mid-range bags. I either have a blanket size or like sock sacks. I just kind of what I have.
Fair.
I don't really have sweater quantity sized bags, so I have to make them fit in a smaller bag or put them in a giant bag. I have an even larger Walmart bag, like an even bigger Walmart bag that just holds acrylic scraps for scrappy blankets. And it's full.
Oh my, time for another scrappy blanket.
I think I have to because I don't have anywhere to put any more acrylic scraps. So it's becoming a bit of a problem. Because if it's rolled up in a ball and on the floor, the cat will play with it because it rolls.
Yes.
And I can't really get mad at her because it rolls like her toys do.
That's fair.
This is the same cat who will pull the impeccable thread balls of yarn out of the Walmart bag to lie in the Walmart bag. She'll also run off with ball bands, so that's fine. It's fine. It's a cat thing.
You're up in the middle of the living room.
I do. One day I came out because I napped and there was toys because my period was this week, so I napped a lot, right? I came out, I was talking to my mom and I'm like, it's a wall-to-wall toy carnage has occurred. It's like she'd gone through and every single toy in her toy box was out and all over my floor. From one end of the living room down the hallway into the everywhere I stepped there was a spring or a mouse or a squishy thing or a catnip or just a ball.
Wow.
Those springy tube things she loves so much. And I haven't gone under the couch and I know there's gonna be some under there. Guys, she had an intense play day and I was out cold. I was napping hard.
All of it.
Missed all of it. I woke up to cat toy carnage all over my floor and a cat napping belly up on the couch, snoring out cold. Like she didn't even register my existence. She played herself to a full-on nap cycle.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to tell her no. I have one project left, so you are up.
All right. Well, I have been working on my reps and rest sock. I don't remember if I had the heel done last week. If I did, then I have now had to undo all of the rows that I did since then because I screwed up the pattern. I did 2 knit rows in a row and I was not supposed to do that.
Oopsies.
I fixed it now, so there are no mistakes to be seen. Also,
I'm glad you're making progress.
The sock blocker is slightly too short for my size foot, but that's okay. So texture. I like the texture. It's so
Texture.
good. Texture.
Texture.
So it's the Reps and Rest sock by Nikki Knits, and the yarn is Manos Uruguay Allegria in pastel tees. Every time I forget, I say I should really learn how to pronounce that, and then instantly forget.
Do you know what's going to happen now?
Hmm.
One of our moderators is going to drop a video file in the mod Discord chat for you with the pronunciation of that.
It's just Tiza. I just don't know if it's a Tiza or a Tiza. I don't know. I don't know what this word is. You know what? Okay, you know what? I have the power of Google right here in front of me.
You do. And we're recording, so I could push pause.
I'm gonna learn right now. Anyway, pastel Tiza. That's what I'm settling on. We're going with Tiza.
We're going with Tiza?
We're going with Tiza. Pastel Tiza. Reps and Rest. Yeah.
It's a good sock.
I like it. It feels nice.
It feels nice?
It feels nice.
All right.
Anyway, that's what I'm working on while we record.
I have one more thing to talk about.
Indeed.
Diana, you didn't work on your spring cow.
Oh, I did. That's my last thing.
Is that your last thing? Okay.
That's my last thing.
I will start us off with my spring cow. It's not done in a bulky organic cotton, so I'm not going to make progress.
I have a worsted organic cotton, thank you.
Sorry.
Completely different.
Really? Yeah. So in my DK fingering weight,
I'm just making faces at the weather. What is
stored in this? It's bigger on the inside than the outside bag from Miss Asa. Because when you open it up, it opens up into a big old square. It's a great bag. This is my kind of bag. It is just a bag. There's no extra pockets. There's no extra thingies hanging off places. It's just what it looks like. It's a bag with a big square inside. It sits flat. It stores things. It's perfect. I love a well-constructed bag. I also don't put stuff in pockets because I would just lose them. I just get lost. Just get lost. It would be a problem. I literally put all of my balls of my Indio yarn, which is the linen yarn I am using from Barocco that Diana so kindly got me last year, to make my second mallow cardigan. So, put the bag down. I'm making it out of this wonderful kind of gray, kind of like stormy, overcast gray-blue sky color.
It's gonna look so good all knit up. I'm really excited to see this. I'm so excited for a close-up of this knitting.
It's not much. I'm working on my back panel on a cord that is way too long. Diane and I need to switch cords. It's fine. I have finished my garter bump at the bottom, which will be my hem, and I'm just starting up the stockinette section. This is a free pattern from Barocco, so I can tell you that you knit 9.5 inches from some sizes, 10 inches on my size, 10 inches? Or they're 9 or 10 inches. I'd have to reread the pattern. Up the back in plain stockinette, I added the garter bump at the bottom because I hate the rolly.
Mm-hmm.
So the garter bump is on me, and I do it on purpose. I did it on my first mallow too. So I now get to just knit stockinette till I reach 9 or 10 inches. I will double check when I get close. Then I get to start in on the lace pattern. So there's my back. We'll have some drape once we're done. Super excited. I'm actually going to work on it a little bit now while we sit here and talk because it's in my hands. So this is a 95% linen, 5% like viscose nylon in here. So I should have some wonderful shape definition. And the mallow is a open front cardigan with a lace back panel.
I'm also going to do the mallow with that yarn that I have in a lighter gray.
Yep.
Just seems right.
Well, the Marsh is the t-shirt version.
Which I cannot for the life of me find on Ravelry anymore.
Oh, I'll throw it in up for you. I'll send you a link. I've got it.
But honestly, I think I might just do the mallow and just have a cardigan because I don't have that many cardigans. I have a lot of branded zippered hoodies.
You love a branded
that are filling that niche
in.
They're filling that niche in my wardrobe right now, but it might be nice to have like a classier hand knit cardigan.
Are you ready for
right
some
now
adult cardigans?
Right now, my only hand knit cardigan is the Comfort Fade, which is lovely, but I'm not always feeling the pink.
That's fair.
So having another colored cardigan for when I'm not feeling pink.
No, I think that's a good idea. Oh, this linen is so nice to work in.
Making me jealous. I might have to cast one on. It's already in balls too. Like you can just cast on and
go. I mean, I gauge swatched because you want a really tight gauge because linen relaxes. And even with the nylon, it's going to relax. So I wanted to, and I ended up actually, even knowing as tight as I knit, I'm pretty much using the size of needle they recommend for the pattern.
So extra tight.
Yeah, to get the stitch count that they wanted. Or linen's forcing, because linen's got because of the structure of linen, it's forcing my gauge looser. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So who knows? Either way.
I feel like I've got cat hair in my face.
You don't even have a cat.
That can't be true. I know.
I have cat in my face.
I don't know if I'm just like, what's the word for when you feel, when you like feel pain or something on somebody else's behalf because they're, I don't know. There's a word for that.
I'm sure there is.
I don't know. But you had a cat in your face, and therefore I apparently now also had a cat in my face, and my nose is just like, I'm sad.
Psychosomatic?
Maybe.
You're not wrong. I did have a cat in my face.
Oh, excuse me.
She does that. Then she was yelling at me from the hallway for no reason.
I'm sure she had a perfectly good reason, but it was,
I don't know what it is.
It was a perfectly good cat reason, which means no reason at all.
None that the human will understand. Anyway, that's for darn sure. So that is my last project I worked on this week, which is good because last week it was literally a cast on edge.
All right. I guess I should talk about mine. I'm doing the Ursina by, I don't remember. I should have looked that up. I've forgotten. Mine is slightly more than a cast on edge, very tangled. Hang on, hold that thought. Please hold.
Please hold for talent.
So I've got about a bajillion stitch markers on this because it's raglan shaping and it has faux seams. So there's stitch markers around each of the seams, and then it's also a V-neck. So this little edge that I have is going to go like this, and then it's going to slowly get longer and go into a V shape. Apparently, so says the pattern. I'm just kind of knitting and hoping it works because right now it just kind of looks like an oddly shaped strip. I'm choosing to trust the pattern.
Trust the pattern?
I'm trusting the pattern, trust the process. Anyway, the stitch definition is lovely. and the hem is only a little bit rolly, which is, I thought it would be rollier, given that it's just like cast on and go, but it's only rolling the tiniest little bit. So I don't know if it's a cotton thing or the shape that this fabric is getting knit into, and a v-neck is just going to prevent it from rolling very much. I don't know. Anyway, I'm very much enjoying it so far. I just, have to actually pay attention and like count stitches and stuff, because on one row there's some set of increases, and then on the next right side row there's even more increases, and I haven't settled into a good rhythm yet, so I have to pay attention every single row so far. So I will be very, very happy when the v-neck is done and the sleeves are done, or like the sleeve area is done, and I can just do the roundy body knitting with the interesting triangle detail. I'll be very happy when the v-neck's done. I've never done a v-neck. This is a learning experience.
It would be, yes.
Anyway, it's, I believe, Blue Sky Fibers, organic worsted weight cotton. I believe this color is Sky, so it's a very light blue, slightly grayish tinted. It's so soft. It's so soft. Like, when this is done, it might be a throw it on top of pajamas. It's so soft.
Ooh, wow.
It's nice.
That's a heck of a compliment to give that cotton.
It might be a throw it on top of pajamas sweater, in addition to like actually being a nice go out in public sweater, but it's soft enough that it could be an on top of pajamas sweater.
Beautiful. Excellent. Just means I need some of that cotton.
Yes, highly recommend. He's very nice. So squish. So hopefully there's more of that next week.
I'm literally gonna finish this one row of purling and put this down, because what I really want to do is finish the flipping wood woes. So. Mostly because we're almost into that April, which will be perfect light sweater weather.
Yes, and having that done would be really nice.
Yeah. Whereas the linen cardigan is going to be fine all the way through summer. Which is why I cast it on for the spring cow. Oh, just such pretty stitch definition. Oh, so good. Okay. Need to put temptation away. Maybe that'll be what I do. Finish my first sleeve, and then I can let myself do my lace panel. Because I do enjoy a good lace panel. Ha ha ha.
That's a very satisfying sound.
Isn't it though? Oh, just feels so good. It feels so good. Just oof, with a cord. Okay. We are out of projects to talk about. You know what that means?
Oh, it's time for the unscripted Patreon ad, isn't it?
It's time for some wool gathering.
Once more into the breach. Something, fill up the hole with our English dead. I don't know what that whole thing is. I don't know. I just know once more into the breach.
Man, you went right off the deep end with that one. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Okay.
So if for some reason you
pour some more tea.
If for some reason you want to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/Northern Knits Podcast. Link in the description box below.
Oh, I hope the microphone picked that up.
What?
Me pouring tea sounds. Sound of pouring tea is very relaxing.
Yeah. I find it very interesting. This is a complete tangent, but apparently you can hear the difference between pouring hot liquids and pouring cold liquids. So pouring tea sounds different than pouring a glass of water.
Yes.
I don't know why we can hear that difference.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you what's different about it.
Here's a question. How do you think I know when the water cup is filling up?
Well, obviously, like it sounds different as you fill a cup, but like
cold liquids and hot liquids have different sounds.
Just the fact that hot and cold water has a different sound, just it blew my mind when I learned that.
Different sounds. Super cool. We totally segued off your Patreon ad.
Yeah, I did. Anyway, if you're supporting us on Patreon, thank you. And why? But thank you. Any level of support gets you access to our patron only Discord server where I say we are active at all hours of the day and the night. I just lurk and occasionally emoji react to things. And then if you tag me and be like, hey, you should do this thing, then usually I agree to do the thing.
You usually have to tag Diana for her to stop long enough to reply.
What else? There's early access to bonus content. There's weekly experimental Tuesday blog posts. I think this is my week. I should probably come up with something. No, wait, did I do it last week? I can't remember.
I think you were last week. I think I'm this week.
I think, yeah, okay. I know what days things happen on. I know time.
You're doing great.
Yeah, so good. I'm forgetting things. Oh, the higher access tier, what? Higher tiers of support. Wow, I'm doing so good. At the higher tiers of support, we do a monthly e-knit-in. The next one of those is going to be on Saturday, April the 16th. Normally it would be on the second last Saturday of the month, but my parents are coming to visit, and I feel like I shouldn't ditch my parents for like 4 or 5 hours one afternoon to hang out on the internet. So we're going to do it the week before my parents come on April the 16th at noon Manitoba time. And we've also newly started this year a quarterly movie day, night, afternoon viewing thing. That's going to happen on May the 14th. Is the poll for the movie choosing still open?
It's still open. I'll leave it open till like the week before.
Okay, cool. Yeah. What's in the lead so far?
It's Blade.
Okay, seems like we're watching vampires.
I think we're watching.
I've never seen it. I've been sold. I'm being sold on these sexy vampires. So like, I'm good with this vote.
Scary, deadly, sexy vampires.
Perfect. Okay, I'm into it.
Not all of them. Some of them are riffraff, but I mean that's normal.
I think that's all the Patreon stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is good. As always, we super understand that budgets are a real life thing. If you cannot help financially support us, liking, commenting, and subscribing here on YouTube is a great way to help build the community and interact with us. You can also find us and interact with us. And I say us, I mean me and Asa and Sherry, the moderators. Diana, when we tag her and track her down on Instagram and in the Facebook group. So there are alternatives. If you want to get a hold of us for any reason, you can also email us at northernnitspodcast@gmail.com. because that's how that works. Show notes are as always found on the website, which is northernknitpodcast.com. Sensing a theme, guys, we stuck to our branding. Like glue.
We did. I think we did a solid job on our branding.
We did a solid job on the branding. So all of those are going on. We try to stay as equal and as fair as possible. You also can randomly catch us gaming as we are co-oping a Stardew Valley farm together, and now that I have a functioning computer, you can watch me and her at the same time. It's kind of nice. Would we do it more often? Yes, just it depends on when Diana wants to play.
Depends how the week's going, how many brain cells I have. I need at least 2 brain cells to rub together at the end of the day.
Totally fair. I'm always down to farm. So that is how that works. So with all of that going on, we're going to run through the cows pretty quickly. We've extended the podcast anniversary knit along till the end of April instead of the end of March, so you still have some time to get your finishes done. The rules for that, while not written, are fairly standard rules. Anything wood themed, if you're worried about it, send me a question. If you've justified it, odds are good I'll say yes. Adult-sized items, and ideally aim for 3 skeins or more. The other cow that we've just started, which is going to run to the 20th of July, is the Ostara Cow, or Spring Equinox Cow, and that is a make-along, so it's hashtags, rules, everything. It's all in the show notes. It's all on the webpage. Diana kindly linked it, and we got some wonderful inspirational links as well too, so those were thrown up in there too, just in case you want some help figuring out what is like springy themed. Then Diana and I picked something that wasn't even on the list.
Yeah.
and went with that. So you are always more than welcome to bring your whips and join in. Some people are using their Sock Madness socks. Absolutely. Those are
They're pretty springy
totally
socks.
welcome. There's going to be spring colors, spring themes, laces, and beads. Like, absolutely. People wear socks in the spring. It totally
Yeah.
counts. So even for us, it's loose rules. With both of those things going on, we're a little full up busy. Diana, thankfully, doesn't do quite as much extra as I do. You're going to be able to find us live on some events. Diana and I will be live on the 3rd of April.
Yep, that is next Sunday or this Sunday coming up in a few days as of this going up.
As of this going up, because it'll be the first Sunday of the month, so we'll be live. And then that following Thursday, which is the 7th of April, I will be live on Louise's channel, which is Wildflower Wool, as we do our monthly check-in. So things are a-going. Things are
Do apologize for the sniffling and the coughing. I'm still figuring out how to work this whole allergies thing. But I sound better than last week, so winning.
Keep taking your meds at the same time every day.
I have been. It's helping. We're getting there.
And that's all you can do till the allergy season's over.
Sweet. I hate it.
Otherwise, other than your acquisitions, do you have acquisitions? I don't have.
I do not have acquisitions. No, that was last week. I had a billion acquisitions.
True. Yeah, I'm waiting on the Jocelyn yarn. It'll get here eventually, and then I can pet it.
Yep.
It'll show up on.
I need to get to a post office, which did not happen this week.
That's how I thought that might happen.
Well, we have to buy groceries tomorrow, and that's next to the post office, so it should happen tomorrow.
That'll work. For me, the post office is in the same building as the place I get my meds, so I go pretty regularly. I'm there often.
They closed the close post office that I could walk to, so now the closest post office, why is that so hard to say,
I don't know.
is a 10-minute drive instead of a 10-minute walk.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. It's
Gross.
Terrible. I don't like it.
Gross. All right. I suppose that just leaves books then.
I believe it does.
Ta-da!
All right. Well, last week I had all of 45 minutes of A Court of Mist and Fury left, and I finished it basically immediately after we finished recording. I don't want to wait. I have like 11 weeks for the 3rd book on hold at the library, and I don't want to wait.
Buy it on Audible.
It was good. It was good.
I know. Well, you need book 3.
I enjoy how book 2 completely departed from the tropes that I thought it was following.
Yep.
I enjoyed that. Book 2 better than book 1. Book 1 was fun. Book 2 is better.
Book 3 is a wonderful conclusion. I wasn't lying. I don't lie to you about these things.
I know, but I was like, where can this go from here? And they went. I'm so excited. But now for book club, I'm just sounding so disappointed now. I'm reading A Master of Jinn by, I should have written this down. I did learn how to say this person's name. It was P. Jelly Clark. Jelly spelled D-J-E-L-I.
Okay.
Anyway, it's an alternate history, urban fantasy. Mm-hmm. So we're in 1912 Cairo following a police investigator. But magic exists as of something like 40 years ago. There was no magic, and then magic came back to the world like 40 years ago, and so now it's 1912 modern Cairo, but there's genies, whatever, ghouls, there's magic. And so we're following the police investigator with the ministry, it's the Ministry of something, and she's in the Department of Magical Misuse of Magical Creatures or some such. I don't know. She's part of the department that goes after you if you're misusing magical stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's cool. I like it. It's got, strong feminist overtones.
Oh
A
dear.
couple of the characters just had a face off about like, if if you've ever had the misfortune to be the only woman in the room full of like professional men in a professional setting, that was a lot of the use of the word professional. Anyway, if you've ever been the only woman in the room, you understand how it feels to be thought less of, like you're just there for show, you don't actually know what you're doing, or you just like pat you on the head and stick you in the corner kind of thing. And so the main character has just done this to one of the other characters in the book, and they just had this like huge fight. They had it out because it was like, how dare you do this to me? I was expecting this from all the guys, but how dare you do this to me? And I was like, this is so good.
I'm disabled. I'm stuck in the corner and ignored everywhere I go. It doesn't matter what gender I'm interacting with. And I get to be grateful for it.
Ugh.
Never happened to me before I got my cane. Was not a problem I ever faced until I became visibly disabled.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Woohoo.
societal problems, yay.
Mm-hmm.
I particularly liked this call out though, because I've done it. I've done that to people. I have
We all
me
have.
me in the tech industry
Mm-hmm.
being women in tech,
Mm-hmm.
and then I freaking do that to people, have done that to people, just made assumptions. And like, that's how deep it is that I have done the thing that I hate when it's done to me. So I was appreciating the call out in the book, just like, hey, don't do that. That's a bad thing to do. Don't do it.
Becoming the people that give you grief in those situations doesn't make you their equal. It makes you them. That's never
It's
the
not a
path
good
you
feeling.
want. It's not the path
No,
you
it
want.
doesn't feel good.
It just makes you the bad guy.
You gotta sit with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta sit with that one. I don't know. Anyway, good book. Master of Gin. A Master of Gin. Sorry. If you try to look up The Master of Gin on Goodreads, you'll get some kind of like weird romance novel.
Which might also be good.
Master of Gin. It didn't sound good, to be honest. I read the description. It didn't sound good. It sounded maybe silly and fun, but like in that not very good way. Anyway, it's A Master of Gin.
Well, I purchased A Master of Gin on Audible, so I might start reading it because I'm going to very quickly butt up against a big readathon real quick. Whoa. But I don't have to read it for book club. So this week I made it through books. They're not in order for me. 6 and 7 of the 8 of books of the Bridgerton series. I'm just missing the book on Francesca, which is still on hold through my Libby app. So I'm in wait mode for that one. So many things on hold in the Libby app. I restarted and finished Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, which is, Colin Bridgerton, and where we started this reread in. And I just listened to it again because it's my favorite of all of them. That's my favorite. And then I finished the Viscount Who Loved Me. So until I get When He Was Wicked, which is the story of Francesca, I'm done with the Bridgerton reread. Will I watch season 2? Probably not. I found Daphne creepy, and I don't like the character choices they made for her, so I probably won't. For honest.
No, that's fair.
If they'd kept true to her character and the descriptors of what she was, I would have been much happier with it. But to be clear, I don't care if you change the race of the people.
No, that shouldn't have any bearing on it.
That has no bearing on it. A good-looking person's a good-looking person. Daphne
But they
Bridgerton's
changed her like whole thing, right?
they changed her whole thing. She was never a diamond in the first. She was a third, fourth year debutante. Like she'd been out for 4 seasons. She was everybody's best friend, and she looks like her brothers. The only light-haired Bridgerton is Mom. Everybody else has brown hair or brown hair or brown eyes or brown eye, green eyes. Like they're all in that same range. So I had a problem with, because you had the primary character being, well, she doesn't get marriage proposals because she's good fun. She's fun to hang out with. She's like one of the guys. They're aware she's a girl, but they don't treat her like a debutante. They don't treat her like life potential. So she's at her 4th season when she meets Simon, and they strike the bargain because she has no prospects. So they got that part right, but she was never considered a diamond. She's not waifish, skinny, blonde, what they were looking for. She had the chestnut brown hair. She had the brown eyes. And she had that easygoing attitude around men, probably because she has 4 brothers. Go figure. So guys knew she was a thing, but they knew her as a friend, which is why I attached to Daphne, because that is a boat I am put in a lot. I'm the friend. I'm not a romantic interest. So for me, that was great. So to remove that aspect was incredibly offensive. They could have made the Bridgertons African American for all I care. Change the whole family. Totally do not care about that. I care when you change the character components. And they made Daphne not look like her family. She does not look like she belongs with the rest of them.
That's an odd choice.
So she doesn't look like family, not even close. And they made her a very different person. So I'm just like, no, I don't think I could handle that if they did that to, like, oh, who's the love interest in the second book? Kate. Like if they messed around with Kate and Edwina's sisterly bond or something like that, just to make it more dramatic or something stupid. Like I don't think I could handle it. I would be so annoyed. I'd be so annoyed. So I'm not gonna risk it. So I'm not gonna watch. The costumes are delightful. It's a wonderful fantasy storytell. I can't abide removing interesting people to make simpering flat characters. I don't like it.
That is an entirely reasonable criticism.
I don't like it.
I think I'm going to wait to watch the show until I read the books.
That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
And then I can form my own opinions. Because at this point, I've already missed the season 1 and season 2 hype. So whatever. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait until I've read the books.
Totally legit. So I did those. And I finally finished The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. It is a Russian myth-based fantasy. I liked it because it was different. Does that make sense? But I didn't like it because the characters fell flat.
Okay, yeah.
If that makes sense. So I liked the different magic, the different myth, the different storytelling, the different focus. The characters were very two-dimensional for me. I was like, oh, cool. We're the younger son and we're interested in the church. Like, there was no depth to it. Oh, we're the last born daughter and we're gifted and we're drawn to the woods and nature. Where's the not trope part of it? Where's the part that makes them, gives them weight and gravitas?
I understand the narrative plot, the narrative part I have to play in the story, and I will do exactly that and absolutely nothing else.
Pretty much. So I'm like, no, it's not for me. So will I finish the trilogy? No, I'm not going to read any more of that. Did I enjoy the first one? Yeah, I gave it a solid 3, which means it was a good book. It was well written. I enjoyed the story. I just don't have any urge to continue it.
Fair enough.
It's no book 2 of the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I've decided that my 3-star rating is like, I don't feel like I wasted my time, but I don't think I'm going to recommend this to anybody.
1 is I didn't finish it. 2 is it wasn't good, but I did finish it. 3 was, it was a solid written book. 4 was, in some cases I'd recommend it. 5 is I will talk your ear off about it.
Yeah, it's about the same for me.
So that is what I got done this week. But having said that, Tome Topple round 16 starts in April. So I have a bunch of things I want to get finished before Tome Topple starts, because for those 2 weeks, it's books over 500 pages all day, every
All the
day,
books.
all the books, which is great because I'm like at 30 something for the year, and I really need to be closer to 70 by July.
Sure, have fun with that.
Woohoo!
I'm on track for my 30 books this year.
I'm eyeballing getting the Kindle Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing if I like it, so that may happen. All right, that's it. I'm out of books.
I think that's it then.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
book
that's just
club time. It's it. We're done. Sweet. In which case, I will say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit.